Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Thoughts of a Rambling Mind. Today's episode is going to be about baby mothers. Um, Baby mothers and baby daddies and babies and all that kind of stuff. The reason why I'm making this video is because I was on the internet and I saw a post by Future's Future, the rapper Future, out of Atlanta, successful rapper. He his one of his kids' mothers were made a post. She was going back and forth with his mother because he left a very upsetting text. He sent a very upsetting text to his son, her son, their son together. Well, the text was, um, son was asking him for some money for some clothes, I guess. Um, he told him to ask his mom's for some clothes, and the response that I saw was, "Your mom's a hoe." He responded to. His son is 8 years old. Now, even something like this, I honestly could care less about Future, his relationship with his son, his relationship with his kid's mother. I could care less about any of that stuff. But I do care about my people. And I feel like this is a good example for my people to see and for me to express my views because this is a perfect example. So, what do I feel first and foremost? His baby mother, I believe her name is Brittany. You deserve what you get. And unfortunately, your child has to suffer because you deserve what you get. You made a decision and you didn't realize that another life would be affected by your decision maker, and now they're being affected and you're complaining about it. You don't get to complain about a decision that you made, about a life that you created, right? A lot of y'all will say, you created. What do you mean she created? They both created this life together. Actually, no. Right? And I know y'all let the smart people tell y'all that because they smarter than y'all and were able to fool y'all. Men don't create children. Men can create life, but they cannot create children. Right? Women create children. You can get pregnant. You don't have to have that child. If you do have that child, you need to take in consideration the person that you got pregnant for. And you have to understand that you shouldn't be opening your legs and sleeping with anybody who you don't intend to have children for. Because sex, the purpose of which is to have children. If for some reason you find it absolutely necessary to have sex with somebody who you have zero intention of having children with, then you should be super protected to make sure that pregnancy doesn't happen. So we'll start with that statement and we're going to blame her all the way. Some of you might say, well, shouldn't he protect himself if he doesn't want to have a child or take care of a child? Unfortunately, nature doesn't work that way. Stop letting the smart people fuck your brains up. Okay? He who is saddled with the consequences is he whose responsibility it is to make sure the consequence does not come. You have to understand that. You have to understand, women, that it's mommy's baby, daddy's maybe. And I know that that statement is usually used to discuss uh, paternity, uh, the genetics of the father. But in reality, that saying really describes the situation of who will be ultimately responsible for that child, who will ultimately suffer and have to sacrifice for that child. Because daddy maybe will help you if he has that moral composition. But if he has a different moral composition, he may have factors for why he would help you or why he wouldn't. The law may not provide for those factors, but if you don't plan on taking him to court, or if he's not scared of the court and he has his ducks in order, then the law won't be able to help you. So, why do I say all of this? Like, what is it? Why do I say this is the perfect example? I say this is a perfect example because I Googled Future after seeing this story, right? I wanted to be accurate when talking about it. So I Googled how many kids does he have? And in Googling that, I came up with the number 6. Great. So in determining the type of character he has when it comes to family and the upbringing of children, I decided that the follow-up question after you find out how many kids he has is to find out how many baby mamas he has. So I Googled that. And it said 8. Now see, I don't even know how that's possible. But I'll give you another twist. The reason I Googled him and needed accuracy was because the baby mother, Brittany, again, I believe that's her name, the baby mother told us her thoughts or her knowledge of how many children he had, how many siblings her son has from this man. And she said 11 to 12 kids, 11 to 12 baby mothers. Now, 11 to 12 isn't exact, which is why I looked it up. But I believe that she would know better than Google how many kids and how many baby mothers. Well, let's just be clear that Future has outsmarted Google. Future has more kids than Google recognizes that are his children. What does that mean? That means that Future has not expressed anywhere in the world his children to the point where Google can recognize it. But they recognize 8 of his baby mothers, which is, I don't understand. But my issue with Miss Brittany is, and I hope one day I get famous enough that she gets to see this and all other women like this. And all the women that are looking at Future and artists like him as possible opportunities, possible love interests, possible financial support. 11 kids, 11 baby mothers says, if you're number 10, 11, and all that, you don't have no excuse for why you're going through what you're going through. No, when you're number 10, 11, 12, whatever number your child is, when you're number 4, 5, 6, if you had a baby after Sierra had baby Future, you had every warning. Jay-Z made a song and put this man in the song. He said something to effect of he ain't gonna be running around with these other chicks, or else in the future niggas gonna be playing football with your son. Jay-Z said that about Future, baby Future, and again, I don't care about these guys, but Sierra's husband, the football player. Right? He said this. So for you to walk into that situation is absurd to me. Because I don't believe that Jay-Z knows Future in that realm, in the bedroom realm, in his personal life. I don't believe he knows him that way. I believe they have a business relationship. I believe they have a close business relationship. I believe that they may intermingle on some levels personally, but I don't believe that Jay-Z is invested enough in Future's personal life to understand the depths of what's going on. You are. So you should see it coming. So to the women out here, if you want to have a child with a person, that person should demonstrate some form of responsibility. There are birds that grab a twig, female birds, they'll grab a twig and they'll fly up in the sky and they'll drop that twig and they'll wait for the male bird to fly down and catch that twig. And if he catches that twig, then he can mate with her. The reason being is they want to make sure that he has the strength and the speed to catch a baby if the baby falls out of the nest. You see, there are other birds where the male bird has to build the entire nest, and then the female bird goes into the nest, inspects it, and goes into all of the other nests that the other males have made and inspects them all. And when she finds the suitable one that best supports her and her future family, then she will choose that home and choose the male who built it. So if something with a bird brain can figure this out, you women need to step it up. Men are not responsible for taking care of you or your mistakes. You cannot expect morality of humans. Morality is a made-up construct that is determined by your social standings, your social beliefs, and your personal values. Someone is not immoral because they don't take care of their child. That's their choice. You have options. People are not required to take care of other people. But women are uniquely saddled with other lives that they have to detach themselves from in order to be free. So consider that before you have children. And stop walking around blaming other people because you're in a situation. Because you can't get in a situation unless you get into a situation. No one can get you into a situation. No matter how little your responsibility is in that situation, you have the main role as far as being responsible for making sure that you're not in an undesirable situation. It may be old-fashioned, and even I don't follow the old-fashioned way of life, right? But that doesn't mean I don't know better. I'd like y'all to stop pretending that y'all don't know better. I'd like y'all to stop pretending that it's okay for y'all to be whores and for y'all to open your legs for people because they have money or because they have fame. I'd like you to stop pretending that that is not something that y'all are doing. And then having these babies with these men that y'all are trying to trap and realizing that some men can't be trapped. Some men don't give a fuck about you. Some men don't give a fuck about their kids. Some men don't even give a fuck about themselves. So when you running around just throwing your pussy at any fucking guy that got a bag, that shows that you don't care about yourself either. Because if you let a person like Future fuck you, you are just as disgusting as him. Anyway, I'm not judging nobody personally. I'm just saying, from what I see and from what is actual evidence, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have this many kids and each of them have a different mother, that says a lot about your scruples. That says a lot about your decision making, and that says a lot about your ability to abstain from detrimental situations. All right? He is constantly going into situations where his finances will be affected, by his negative behavior, where his social life will be affected by his negative behavior, and he has to find new women with this resume behind him, and he still keeps on doing it. He cannot abstain. As far as I can see, this is a person that has an issue abstaining. So if you're a woman and you get caught up into this, then you're a sucker and you deserve it. I'm sorry. And this is not just about Future, right? This is about everyone that is on their way to becoming a baby mother. There should be no more baby mothers. 2021, 2022. We are dead in baby mothers, all right? Don't have babies unless somebody is willing to marry you. Don't have babies unless someone is willing to marry you. Do not have a baby and want to attach that man's last name to your child because he's the father, but you walking around with your daddy or your mommy's last name. No, your entire family should have the same last name, and your family is mother, father, and child. Extended family is all the other people who have the different last names, but your nuclear family should all have the same what? Family name. Yeah, that's what the last name is. It's called a family name. And if you don't have a family name, then you should not be making a family. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. Those are my thoughts of a scrambling, thoughts of a rambling mind. And I'm out.